Hello, Julianne with Sterling Credentials, and today, Skills Lab Day. All right, we're going to show how to evaluate your peers on certain skills in the lab. These are when you're doing just individual skills. If you're interested in a quick overview, the down and dirty, how it looks on the cell phone, you can find that on my Sterling YouTube channel. This one here, Sterling Steps, Recording Skills Performance. All right, first thing, make sure you're pointing to the right cohort. And then you should see your schedule overview and then your classroom courses. And literally all you're doing is looking for the pen, all right? Your instructor is going to set up a skill session in your current course that you're in. Occasionally there will be other courses that will also have skill sessions open. It just depends on how your schedule is exactly set up. And so all you do is simply click the pen. Let's do this one, Life Saving 101. All right, isolated skill. I'm going to tell you the exact equipment and the exact items that you need for an isolated skill. A skill with scenario is going to ask you to make a little bit more decisions. It's not the full top to bottom multiple skill simulation. It's just a little sliver. So for example, with isolated skill, I might ask you to start a 20 gauge IV using a micro drip set, a normal saline, and a 2 keep open rate. Whereas with skill and scenario, I might just say, you have a multi-system trauma patient who's hypotensive, please start the appropriate IV. And then you have to decide on all the equipment and the flow rate and everything else, showing your clinical development. So here, my instructor has made a session called On Your Own. And what I'm expected to do is practice adult CPR 3 times before the end of the day. Now, this is in addition to whatever I've got over there in trauma emergencies that open. Okay, so if you have to get in to see an instructor to do an exam, then you need to plan your day around that to get everything done. All right, you simply click the launch button here. You're going to select your classmate to evaluate. My name is not on this list because we do not evaluate ourselves. Okay, so the only classmate I have is demo student. And I only have a choice of practice session. Your faculty will actually have another button that says exam, so they can do practice or exam sessions, but you as a student can only do practice. Okay, I'm going to confirm that all my information is correct and click here to start. And I'm going to use my scoring key here to give feedback to my classmate on how they are doing. Okay, you can use NA, but it's very rare that you're really going to need to use that it truly will be not applicable to your particular skill that you're evaluating. I picked a long one here. Now, what's going to happen? Oh, at the end are the critical criteria. And so if you're new to skills, critical criteria are, if you make this one mistake, it doesn't matter how perfectly else you did the skill, but if you, for example, don't take or verbalize PPE precautions, you will fail the skill. And if you click one of these, it will automatically cause the skill to be recorded as a failure, and it will require that you put some kind of commentary. When you're putting the commentary in, don't just repeat what you clicked up here. Tell the specifics. That, you know, my classmate jumped right into the first step without doing PPE or whatever. However you want to do that, but just we want more information than what we get from just clicking the critical criteria. If at any time you want to dump the skill and not record the data, we have a cancel button up here in the upper right-hand corner. And then when you're done, you can finish and submit, which is either available at the top or the bottom. Here's the information. We're going to collect a signature from you and save to exit. Now, what happens is the student that you evaluated will receive an email with each and every detail of the evaluation that you did. You, in like terms, will get an email when you get evaluated, when somebody evaluates you. Now, this student account that I'm in right now has done several practices of CPR. And so we're going to look here at course progress to see that. And you can see here that my student account has done 4 events, okay? One of which is considered an exam, and that's just because the instructor is stone-faced and doesn't give any feedback. And the other 3 were practice, where maybe I was getting some help or whatever, but we want to document all work that we do. right? This is about documenting the educational work you've put in, not success or failure. Now, if you are an EMT student, you may stop watching now. If you are an advanced student, then you also need to know, about what's called the SMC. All right, and so this is the summary page, or not, it's the front page, it's table 1 of the Student Minimum Competency Matrix. In order to graduate from paramedic school, you have to reach all the minimums that are detailed here. And so you might wonder, when I do a skills lab day, then where am I going to look for that information to populate my SMC? All right, so lab skills, these are skills sessions that are skill sheet evaluations. Okay, and I've done my little, this is what it looks like in Sterling. The first place is going to be skills table 3. Okay, the next is table 5. And finally, you have to do what's called an NREMT portfolio, and those requirements are listed under this tab. I'm going to do a whole nother video that goes into detail in each and every one of those, but in brief, after you do skills in the lab, this is where you should look for them. All right, that's it for right now, and I'll see you next time.